EdAcumen is, I think, the result of a very long journey. I am 53, by the way. And I'm not going to take you through each single year of my life. Even I'm not that interested in myself. I spent about 11 years in a very regimented, very demanding kind of middle school, and just didn't fall into that structure at all. So I distinctly recall not doing well. Yet, by a miracle of some sort, I got accepted into a very good high school, boarding school in Canada, one of the United World Colleges. That kind of began to change my life a little bit, and because it addressed what I really wanted it to address. I mean, I always had a lot to say, and it encouraged me to think independently, creatively. It enabled me an outlet to write, which I'm very fond of. So that kind of began to lay the foundation. A little bit of a delayed development, but nevertheless it was there. I went on to one of the most perhaps liberal of colleges in the US, and that again just sort of encouraged me to think always outside the box. That was kind of like the default setting. And when I graduated back in 1990, fortunately or unfortunately, mostly unfortunately, I'd say on the back of hindsight, which is always easier, of course, I joined a bank and was with the international banking industry for about 18 years. And obviously, it met a lot of my financial objectives, and I was able to do well financially, and that was good. It was necessary, and but it didn't. As I grew older into it, I realized that the kind of environment that was there, it didn't encourage my need for learning. I thought there wasn't enough of a learning curve. That was one thing, and then I found that and I think that's true for most people, that as you get older, regardless of where you are, I mean, your value systems become clearer, and that sort of thing. So keeping those things in mind, I decided about 12 and a half, 13 years ago that I'm going to leave the industry and get into something that does provide me those two or three things, and that was the industry, which is education and human development. So over the last 12, 13 years, I've taught at middle and high schools. I've taught a variety of different subjects. I've taught face-to-face, I've taught online, I've taught not just at middle and high schools, in fact. Actually, I also taught at an undergraduate college and at a graduate college as well. The graduate experience is online. The point of it is that it gave me a chance to understand what's happening in that industry, and as a result, I found that there are some problems which are systemic problems, and those need to be addressed, and that's one of the reasons why EdAcumen exists. And briefly put, those things, the problems that I'm referring to are problems of rote learning, for example, and complete disregard for independent and individualistic thinking, and things of that nature. The other thing I noticed was that, which is absolutely shocking, was that despite their best efforts, schools just have not been able to do enough in terms of pushing awareness for college career and life readiness. So there's been intense focus on subject knowledge and its reproduction, and that actually is obviously it's important. Everybody must have domain knowledge, subject knowledge, that kind of thing. But now in the 21st century, where knowledge is constantly doubling, people say by the hour, and that's a very significant thing. It's humanly impossible to be a content expert, and that's not to suggest that expertise is not needed or required or shouldn't be aspired towards. But what is really needed are the skills to be able to negotiate, to understand, to get to that knowledge, and actually to be able to create your own knowledge. So that is something that I think existing structures, existing curriculums are not able to do very well. and that is where EdAcumen comes into play. So it's really to address the deficiencies in the curriculum, and deficiencies in the curriculum both in terms of its focus on rote learning and the absence of any sort of college, career and life skills readiness.